What's good, you guys? Daniel Cruz here, back with another episode of Cook with Cruz. Today I'm going to be breaking down a beat where I had a couple comments under a video on my channel. So I had a couple requests to go ahead and break this beat down. The beat is called Honestly on my channel. So for this week, that's the beat I'm going to be showing you guys how I made. There's also a couple other beats where I've seen you guys have commented under that you want to see broken down. So stay tuned for those. Those are coming up. And keep leaving me comments on which beats you want to see broken down. You can find all my beats on my channel. So if you want to see a specific one broken down, please leave me a comment of the name or go to that video and leave a comment under it. And I will add that to the list to break down for you guys. So hope you guys are enjoying the series of me being back doing these videos. If you can, please leave a thumbs up on the video for me. I'd really appreciate it. It definitely helps me out with the series and helps it keep going. So please leave a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe if you're not already. Hit the bell so you don't miss these videos every Sunday. After we've done all that, let's jump in and see how Honestly was made. Okay, so what initially started the beat was a sample that I found on Splice. It's pretty much kind of the main backbone of the beat. I'm going to go ahead and play the raw file for you right now so you can hear. Alright, so the first thing about the sample is that the timing on it is kind of weird. So I went in and chopped it up a little bit to kind of be more uniform with the timing. And you can also hear it was broken up into two sections, one with the low pass filter and one without. So I made sure I separated those two because I definitely wanted to play with both of those. So after doing my little chop ups and stuff to get the timing correct, this is what it sounds like. So you can probably hear a little here and there kind of skips or whatever, which is cool. It makes it sound more like a sample. So that was a section with no filter, and I obviously did the same to the one with the filter. So that's going to be our bass sample or loop now that we're working with. So starting the beat off in the intro, we're just going to run, as you can see here, the sample without the filter. This is the new cut that I did. In addition to that, I have a small percussive loop right here, which I'll play for you now. And the raw file of this actually sounds a little different. I'll show my effects now so you can see how I got it to sound like that. Some EQ cutting out the highs. Filter Freak, clean resonant down sweep. I'm pretty sure I tweaked some of the knobs here a little bit. And a flanger, just a stock flanger. So all together for our intro. I'm also going to have a clean rise right here. So after that intro section, we're going to jump right into the verse where I'm going to do a couple changes to our sample here. So first off, for this audio clip, this is now the sample with the low pass filter on it. So it's going to be a bit more muffled. And as you can see, I cut certain parts of it out because I wanted it to be open because we're going into the verse now. So now, just so you can hear what we're working with, this is what it sounds like. And now this is the part where I'm going to start to layer up my own chords with the chords in the sample. So first thing I'm going to start with is Blissfully Unaware in Omnisphere. Used this patch several times before. Again, we're just going to layer up the chords. So this is what it's going to sound like. So there goes our chords. Nothing too crazy, just basically replicating those. Here's what it sounds like with our sample now. And last but not least, for our instruments, we definitely need some bass. Let's go into here. Omnisphere Digi Wave Shaper Bass 3. I have the slides turned on here. As you're about to hear in a second, I do add a little bit of bass sliding here. So with this, all I'm doing is playing the root notes of our chords. So there goes our bass, and to further develop our sound, let's see what effects I put on it. We have Decapitator, Beefy preset, also some EQ. I cut out a lot of the highs on the original patch. I also have a compressor on the bottom here that I use for a sidechain with the kick. And all together, these are 3 instruments that are going to play for the verse. So with that, wrapping up the instruments, let's take a look at the drums now. So we'll go ahead and start off here with the snap. Here's our kick. Our first close tap pattern. Then I have a reverberated snap. It's going to layer up. Here comes a second close tap pattern. And last but not least, an open hat. And into the playlist, we're going to have our percussive loop that played in the intro. I also added this other percussive loop here, chop some parts out. And down here, I have a reverse snap that I rendered out that's going to play on every other snap, or lead up to every other snap. Adds a nice effect. So altogether, this is what our drums are going to sound like. So now let me run it back a little bit so you can hear everything play together now and see how it's going to drop into the verse. So now moving on to the second half of the verse, a couple things are going to change here. So first thing for our sample here, we're going to turn on Tremolator, which I have in the mixer. I'll show you in a second. Have an automation clip here for it to turn on. Here it goes right here, just the default preset. But now our sample is going to have that Tremolator feel essentially to it. This is gonna sound good for a couple things. One being it's gonna open up the beat a little bit more, as you can hear. And two, that second closed tap pattern that I had is going to basically play with the tremolator on the hits. So our hats are gonna speed up a little bit with the rhythm of the sample now. Here's real quickly what I'm talking about. So that's how the second half of the verse is gonna go. Everything else is gonna stay the same. We're gonna drop out the kick here for a little bit. Obviously our first close hat comes out, the second one comes in, and this is where our open hat comes in as well. So now we're going to jump into the pre-hook. So we're going to keep our filtered sample here, but we're going to sustain it instead of cutting it up. Our intro and verse percussive loop here is going to stay. Bass is going to stay. And I'm also going to add some piano here. Of course, we're using Keyscape LA Custom C7 Mellow with some RC20 on it. This is a preset that I made for it, and some EQ, bandpass. So this is what our piano is going to sound like, just the chords, a little bit of embellishing here and there. Here we go right here. So there goes the pre-hook for the piano, and that's going to lead us into the hook now. Though we're not going to necessarily add anything new in here. We do bring back the no filtered part, which only played during the intro so far. I have this chords pattern here, which is essentially what I played on the piano, but less embellishment. And of course, all of our drums are going to come back in. And after that, we're essentially just going to rinse and repeat and go into the second verse. So I'll play that out now for you. So there goes the full beat there. Honestly, let me know what you guys think of the beat if it's your first time hearing it. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown of today's beat. Please keep me updated on which beats you would like to see broken down next, and I will definitely get to those. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. That definitely helps me out a lot. I appreciate you guys that do. Otherwise, that is all for me today. I will see you guys next Sunday. I'm out. Peace.